This is Stories Untold, the home of good news. I am Pule Mulibati. Thank you for watching. Today we revisit the story of Musa Blessing Mbewe Kahlongwa. Musa has gone through many adversities in her life, and she chooses not to hold grudges or resentment for people that have committed the many crimes that she has faced. If anything, she wears her scars with pride.
Musa Blessing Mbewe Kahlongwa is a living testimony that when we go through trials, we should do so joyfully because ultimately it produces patience, endurance, and a stronger faith. She is counting it all joy.
I'm grateful for the gift my grandmother and our upbringing gave me in the super source, which is the relationship with God. That is priceless. When I couldn't tell anyone, I could tell God how scared I was of the diagnosis. When I couldn't share because I didn't want to be judged, I could go to him and say, I believed you are your father that takes care of those who loves you. And I don't feel your embrace. I don't feel it, And that made me be able to share with someone, So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. I think more than anything else, the existence of God in my life that has become so practical. If you can tell me there's no God, I've got proof of how the one I believed in has showed up in my life.
For most of us, forgiveness doesn't come easy. However, what the Stories Untold team learned from spending time with Musa is that forgiveness frees our souls from the chains of bondage.
There is a saying that goes, for everything there's a reason and a season.
Yeah.
If you could be given a chance today to meet the people who did that awful bad thing to you, what would you say?
I visited them one tour. I wanted to know why me? How many people came on the day that they passed? What made it to be me? It was different stories. They couldn't believe, even though the three of them died in prison from AIDS. They didn't make it out, and the one that confessed to what he has done to me is the one that's alive. So I go to prison and I tell them that you complain and say South African women like to date foreigners, they sleep with Nigerians or whatever it is. How are we not going to, when we're all filled here? Look at how many you are in here. Who's protecting us out there? Who is the person that's going to make sure that we've got what it's supposed to? Because all of you are here. Look how handsome you all are in here. Look how the brains you've got inside. So you're not there to protect us, and I'm angry because of that. Those people who did the thing to me, they were just used, according to what I believe in God that I serve, they were just used for the purpose of God in my life, and that was clear. That's why I had to go and tell them that I forgive you, and I wish you don't die in your pain, because the worst prison that you are in is this one of what you have done to me, and I want you to know what I've let you go. I wish you can find the peace that I have. I want to go and tell them that if you can just find the peace that I've got. I know which was the purpose. I know my pain, because I don't think God was absent. God was there. He watched me being raped in the way that I was repeatedly. I couldn't breathe. It was brutal. It was one of the brutal incidents ever. Didn't know why. So I think that's what it probed for me to want to find out why is it. Why did it felt like a revenge of some sort. So I wanted to know, maybe are they confusing me with someone who has done it? But I wanted that closure, And when I realized that it just had absolutely nothing to do with that, and I needed to tell them that I forgive you. I love you the way God loves me. And I'm sorry that he had to use you to prove to me how big he is.
Musa is truly cut from a different cloth to even go a step further, not to harbor grudges against the men that have left her daughter with deep emotional and psychological scars. Musa has never stopped holding her daughter's hand, and that means the world to Mpumi, her only child.
So kindly, Baba.
Yes.
Oh.
It's not so much the incident rather than it is the aftermath of the incident. That wasn't the biggest thing. It was, what is the lesson coming from this? That kind of shook me. And I remember the whole time I was okay. I think I had more than 5 people interview me to get a statement. What happened? What happened? And like nothing happened. Casually went through it over and over again. And when she came, I broke down. She immediately got into her role. She hasn't stopped. She hasn't stopped comforting me. She hasn't stopped understanding where I'm coming from. She hasn't stopped being authentically generous to me. She's gentle as well. Sometimes people walk on eggshells. She's straightforward. This is the date. How are you feeling? What do you want us to do about it? So I really appreciate that.
To these ones that had raped my daughter 2 years ago, 2 days away from now, I'll tell them the same thing, that that they, if anything, they should not worry about the anger we've got against them, because we don't have. We live with wounded men who don't know how to address their pain, and anything that comes close to them to be their peace, they think it is. I really wish they find the reality of what makes them do that. And I believe they are human beings that will also change, and we are alive, and we'll do it. So I'm not angry at them. I wish they change and they don't cause other people the pain, because not everyone will come out as she is. I wish it stops. I just really wish the sickness stops. I know how difficult that is for her, but I believe Uguti, because of what I've been through, it's easy for her to say my mom did it, and I know that that's what sustains her. I'm glad that I didn't die then, because God forbid if I died then and she's going through this, she was not going to have a person that was going to say, I know. When I say I know your pain, I really mean it. And it happens to be someone that she looks up to, because I know my daughter looks up to me.
Having been given a second chance in life, what does that mean to you?
It means that everybody deserves it. I don't know, I forgot the name of the story, pay it forward. It means when something like that has happened to you, it has happened so that you'll be able to extend it to other people. So it has tasked me to pay it forward, to make sure that there is not a single person that will suffer for anything I'm able to reach, able to assist. Even if I cannot, there is never going to be a time where someone is going to need help and I'm alive, and it gets to me.
To date, Musa is using all platforms to help South Africans. When the electricity crisis wreaked havoc in Soweto, where Musa resides, she then started a Facebook page called Soweto Speaks to address this crisis. However, as fate would have it, the purpose thereof changed altogether. She beamed with delight when asked about this social media page that has changed the lives of South Africans for the better.
Soweto Speaks is my brainchild. It gives me a smile. Soweto Speaks is my brainchild. I was frustrated by the ESCOM issues, things that are happening. ESCOM, before it got to this, I never knew I was going to live to a time where the first thing you do is to check your schedule. So at that time we were struggling more in Soweto, and I was like, I think we need to do something, guys. Really, we can pay DSTV. Maybe we can come together and clap, even if it's 50 rand. If all of us give the 50 rand, it's gonna mean a lot, So I'm like, no, let's start something. I'm gonna create sessions where we're gonna go to the halls and have indabas, and discuss, guys, how do we get this thing? How do we do it? So the intention was derived from that. It was birthed by that passion of saying, no, we can't always be problems. I've got a problem with problems. Because every person who brings a problem thinks someone must solve it. When you have a problem, it means you have a solution. You just need to find ways of, So I was like, no, I'm not going to be part of this crying, burning tires. I mean, you're burning the tires at the street. 17 meters as already. That just doesn't make sense. So that's how it derived. However, it never even started going to that angle. I've worked at the radio, and I was doing an inspirational show, so where I'll preach, and and it got a lot of people, taking focus towards me because of the things I'd say, the time I'd give them. People will come into my inbox, they'll tell me their problems, and I'll have some ways to say, let's do this, So from that. When I started this, so to speak, so people knew who the Iron Lady is. Musa, the Iron Lady from Joseph M. At that time, people knew who that is. So people joined in. And some people who know me from that would be coming with the challenges. I remember the first case I received was also the teacher that was bullying a child, a Pugulan, and that I got into my car. Don't know the person I was attending a case of. I received a case and I went there with the name of the child. I wanted to know what is happening. That thing was solved.
Hlengi Wekaba, who has been friends with Musa for years, attests to how Musa would spare her last cent for the benefit of others.
Musa, she makes sure ukuthi ngidlile ebengenamali. She makes sure ukuthi makufanele ngibe nendlela or ngiya kwi-audition fanele ngibe nemali yokugibela. If akakwazi yena ukuthi angithathe ngeyakhe imoto angihambise lapho kumele ngibe khona, uzokwenza sure ukuthi imali yokuthi ngibe lapho kumele ayizamile. Ukuthi uyizama kanjani nami nkosami angazi.
Last year, Musa showed up and became a saving grace to a family that was in desperate need for help. This after a vehicle that collects money was blown by a bomb near their house for the second time.
Musa ke lenyolo ile la fitla fela a feta a bona di-plastic mo di-fenstereng ka e ya bobedi a ba re romella bo ntate ba bang gore le bone ba tlo sheba. After that lene a ba fitlela mo gae ba itla ba buisana gore ba tla etsa jwang. Pere tsa marako officing re batla councilor re fitla go councilor ha yo ra dula a ra ithola ra khutla ra tla ka Musa le bo o se ba bang ba ba tsama ba kwa councilor thola councilor se until Musa ba etsetsa a re batlela di donation mo ba routing le mo bathong gore ba tlo re thusa ka ne se se le na go itele ya no ka ne se tsa no ke sna go puleng
jole ke mariha kana go
yo go bata dipula dina moya o reng yo a no go le busula di dijo di sakeng
but ultimately haloka elar ha o loka o like because
ha ke la ka utlwa o tsikeng ntwe ne ile mo magetleng ile ya yehla o re thusitse a lot Musa shem o re thusitse
nna ne ke le siwa ha ntse le tsahala ha bedi sa pele ne ke le motswalleng wa ka sa bobedi ne ke le tleliniking ke utlwa ke tla tsena ke tswa tleliniking batho ba re hey koloi ya tšhelete ke yana e phethile hape ko Chakana a ke ba shebe fela ke rawe ene le teng kgwedi tse fetileng ba bua ntho ya ho feta ba tsebe ntho ya bua ha ntse ke tla le tsela batho ntse ba go omo ntlo ke yana e fedile halo ke ra e ba bota ha ke se ke hlaka kona ke fitlele ho tletse batho ba tletse mona ha ke kana ka gate ke botse nthapile ke ra auswa ka o kae a hlahe ke mahake ke lelele wala mo.
Being a confident person with high self-esteem, she goes to the extent of teaching those that are in her inner circle to rise to the occasion. Before meeting Musa, Gugumjali was a different version to the one she is right now.
In low self-esteem, she teaches me that everything is male, you understand? Another way being bigger isn't on my own, you know. She's teaching me. That's what I like about it. She's so amazing when it comes to when you strong and believe you can do whatever from where and believe.
She will forever remain an asset to her daughter Mbomi.
She's dynamite. I see the things she does, and she's powerful. She goes and she takes up really big things. Like for instance, not so long ago, there's a young gentleman that she's now adopted. That's her thing. I always say I'm an only child, but I have tons of brothers and sisters. Now she's adopted this young man, and I'm like, woman, you don't even have a job, girl, you know. But that for her is a seed that she's planting, and she rejoices in that labor itself. So I think, yeah, that's a beautiful thing about her.
Musa never misses an opportunity to blow her own horn.
I didn't hear the same thing happening in prisons. Why were people in hospital not having food? How on earth does that happen? That was, for me, that was the wickedness of the highest level ever. Shocked is an understatement.
I show the things I do. You know why I show them? In the person I was born, in my nature and my culture, I was not born a giver that I am. I was not born that. I had to make a sober decision to come out of myself to be this person. If you'd ask people, they will tell you that I was bullied, all those things are the traits that are the character that comes with who I was born as. And I looked at myself, do I want to be recognized as that? So it means I do so much to be against who I am, to become what I am. And when I have won to be a better person from that, I applaud myself. So it's not just a show of that. It's me saying, I did it again, something that is not found in me, but I managed to do it. So I post my victories because I'm fighting, competing with my yesterday. That said something else. If you were to meet a person that knew me when I grew up and people that knows me, and you ask them to tell you about you, you'll have a complete opposite of who I am. Complete opposite.
Blessed are those whose paths have crossed with Musa's, for they too have been served with God's grace and blessings just like her. If she were to be given a chance to have a one-on-one with God, the conversation would be along these lines.
As a spiritual person who believes in God, if you were to get a chance right now to have a one-on-one with God, what are some of the things that you would say to him?
I would say, Daddy, I wish you may, when you created us as human beings, you made us realize how much is in us than let us want to find out, because most of us won't even find out. That's the only thing, because in your greatness, there's so many things that comes. It comes with so much peace, and everything we are struggling from, it's also in the scripture, it's without knowledge. It's because people don't know. People succumb, people drop the value of how they're supposed to be treated, because they don't know how great they are. So I would just say, if you can just be able to let everyone understand how great and how complete and enough it is, we wouldn't have beggars, because those people are kings. We wouldn't have people who don't have homes and people who are hopeless, because they will know it's inside of them. So that's what I will say. But then say thank you that you managed to allow me to do it, because I don't think it's anything that makes me better. The Bible says God chooses whom. He will have mercy upon whom he wants to have mercy upon. So he chose to have it on me. And I wish someone else and everyone else could have it. I think that's the only part. All the confusion we have, we don't have gender-based violence. And I'm always judged for saying that. We don't have gender-based violence. People who raped me, they had my brother, they had my uncles, they had everyone who was around me who's a man. So it's not gender-based, because those people wouldn't be hurting men if it was targeted at me. We've got social challenges of people who don't know how to address the issues they've got, and we need to come together as a group. This thing of women ministry, men's ministry, to me is sick. I wish it wasn't like that, because when we exist together, we understand we're supposed to coexist. So the separate thing makes us believe there's a different world of another thing. Men is from this. We don't care, but we're here now. We're on Earth. Venus and Mars, whatever, it doesn't change. We're here now. How do we live together in sync and understand and support each other and understand how we all relate to each other? Because we all relate to each other. Someone's going to be listening to this and hear this person who didn't know what was happening, and there's a man who's going to be crying who doesn't know me. This is not gender-based. This is not. This is just the sicknesses that we've got because we don't understand how great we are.
Musa's faith and trust in the Lord is contagious. Her friends Hlengiwe Xaba and Gugumjali have grown in leaps and bounds spiritually ever since they met Musa.
Umuntu wenkonzo lo uyakhuleka. Mina ngiyihlalela nje emqashweni unokungifonela ethi hle ngisambe sesontweni ngizovuka ngesonto and mind uma ke ngahamba ngaye esontweni naye kukhulu engizokuthola kukhulu okuzongikhulisa kukhulu okuzongakha kukhulu engizobuya ngikuphethe ngikufumbethe ngithi you know this ngikuthathile futhi ngizokusebenzisa ngenxa yakhe uthothi kwayena la sisuke sikhona uzoba mhlapa athatha ipulpit hey mekwathatha ipulpit hayi Nkosi yami uzoyisholo wena ngoba uzokhula futhi uzobona ukuthi cha lo sisi uphathisiwe ngihlezi ngimtshela ngithi sisi unekholeni
bengilahlekile ngingazazi like ngokomoya, you understand. I'm still working on that.
Just like her mother, Mpumi would like to live a purposeful life, and these are her wishes for herself.
A lot was taken away from me. I wish that I could align to my destiny and fulfill it. I want that by the last day on earth. every single mandate that was given to me, I have accomplished. Not mediocre, but accomplished it entirely. Every single life I was supposed to touch, I wish I'd do it authentically, genuinely. Every single goal, achievement, be it a graduation, be it millions, a huge car, all the little things. Feed the poor, love those who don't feel loved, understand those who are feeling a bit misunderstood. If I can do that, and I know that my last wish or my last breath, then that's all I wish for.
These are the well wishes and words of gratitude from those that received grace and their lives were blessed.
Mrs. Musa, you are an amazing, amazing person. You don't know what you have done to change impilo, not only me, and the center. Uchangeni impilo yala e center through me. She's an amazing person, that's all I can say. And aqhubeke nokuyenza lo msebenzi wakhe because I know akazenzeli yena.
Ngithi live long, Musa. The nation needs you. She must live long.
Ke batla go mo leboga gagolo man. Wa ke tsebe gore ke tla mo leboga jwa mara ke batla mo leboga. Wa itse Musa, ha ke be se ka ena motlhomo ka ntse re dula mo difenstereng tse di thubegileng, menyako e robegileng.
Musa ke mo lakaletsa gore modimo a mpolokele yena. Le hohle mantse a tsamaya teng. A thole di-blessing, a thole katlego.
Oh, I wish her all the beautiful things on earth. The rainbow, the sun, the moon, the stars, soft clouds to sleep on, to never lack. A good life, a soft life. And that one day all her hard work comes back multiplied. And that, you know, she can one day go to the places she wants to go with not a worry in the world. And maybe that, hopefully, I know this is a bit far-fetched, but then that she sees the world to be a better place because you see the investments she makes, and it'd be nice that she gets to see that version of the world at some point. So, yeah.
Have you ever thanked her? Have you ever for being there for you, for being your pillar of strength?
Every chance.
For being your go-to person. If you were to do it again today.
Yes, I every chance I get, I'll do it, and even now. Thank you, Mommy, for being superwoman, for being amazing, for being kind, for being authentic and generous. Thank you for being strong when I was weak or when I am weak, and most importantly, thank you for being my mom, and that you chose me. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Are you okay? Are you okay?
This is what the lady of the moment had to say about her journey.
I feel maybe I didn't die then because I was not this person. Now, when I die, I'm going to be a beautiful corpse, and Daddy's going to be ready to receive me home because I know for the first time I was in purpose, everything. Being in this place and being in this position of this place, it still shows me how well it is because God uses me to serve. And there's people who go to bed and they say, God, we thank you because I am alive, and that for me is everything,
Musa's story has demonstrated to us today that in life we should never accept defeat. Neither should we drop the ball regardless of the challenges that we face. From myself, Puleng, and the rest of the team, let's do this again, same time, same place. Goodbye.